Hello, this is Atomic and you are watching Cyberpunk Talk. The corporations are the integral aspect of any cyberpunk setting, and Cyberpunk 2020 is no different. Cyberpunk 2077 will not be different either. Today I'm going to talk a little about corporation in Cyberpunk 2020 world and the concept of a megacorporation as a whole. A megacorporation is a term credited to William Gibson, who is considered one of the fathers of cyberpunk. Megacorporation, or Megacorp, as they are usually referred to as, is a supranational entity that holds near monopolistic control over one or more fields of global economy. The megacorps are not just companies, firms, or enterprises. They are economic, industrial, social, and political entities not so dissimilar to a nation in many respects. Although they don't hold the territory as nations do and they have employees rather than population, the megacorps assert their influence over the nation's economy, society, and politics. They can do that because of the mentioned monopoly over certain fields of business. Unlike today's corporations, the cyberpunk's megacorps face far fewer regulations and restrictions and in many areas are fully independent of the state influence or replace the state altogether. To protect their assets and interests from other megacorps and other threats, the megacorps field regular armies that can compete with the military forces of smaller nations and are usually more advanced than those of the larger ones. Those forces are usually called the security force, so the general population can sleep better at night. There are as many types of megacorps as there are megacorps out there, but usually they can be divided according to their general specialization. These are the corps that control different areas of industry across many different countries, be it heavy industry, fuel production, or military. They can also combine some or all those enterprises, being a true megacorp both in name and in action. These are the megacorps that deal with information, culture, entertainment and such. They control, well, the media, TV, radio, internet. They keep hold on satellite network and provide the cyberpunk world citizens with their daily news and entertainment. They are amongst the most powerful corporations in cyberpunk world because they control media and information, and who controls them controls the world. The world of cyberpunk needs food to eat, and the system needs fuel to keep going, and agro-corporations provide both. They control most of the agrarian areas around the world and use it to produce food and biofuel on industrial scale. Their food ranges from simple protein packs, highly processed MRE-type food, to fresh luxury food from deep ocean farms or orbitals for ultra-rich. Contrary to various misconceptions, the Cyberpunk 2020's corporations are not the self-contained sovereign states. They are close to that, but not there yet. Consequently, the megacorps did not replace governments. It is true that they have a tremendous amount of power and influence over most nations in the cyberpunk world, but they neither replace nor rule them. There are myriad of socio-economic problems that comes with governance, and the megacorps simply don't want that trouble and leave it to the nation-states. Another reason the megacorps need relatively stable governments is the fear of other megacorps. Corporate wars and hostile takeovers happen, and the governments are there to make sure that things don't get out of hand. So the states are the buffers between various competing megacorps and the protectors of a delicate status quo. Most of the corporate operations within the nation's border are free of the state interference, provided the corporations keep their activities within the limited restrictions of the national law. However, the megacorps don't hesitate to walk on that fine line. When the corporation crosses that line too much, the government has to act. Sometimes it acts via other corporations, sometimes it uses special assets, or the limited power of law. And what happens if a megacorp crosses that line and doesn't care about the consequences? We will talk about that in the episode concerning the Fourth Corporate War. It may appear that the megacorps are just the product of fiction, but in reality there were several companies in history that fit the description. One of such companies was British East India Company or John Company that was established in 1600 in London. The company controlled the trade of cotton, silk, indigo dye, salt, tea and opium in British East India territories. The John Company possessed administrative control over the British colonial possessions in India. It also fielded a large army and possessed one of the most powerful navies in the area. Although the company was established by the royal government, it was almost entirely privately owned. Another such company was the Dutch East India Company or VOC. It is considered to be the first transnational corporation. It was probably founded and was the first company to ever appear on the stock exchange. It also possessed vast administrative power over the colonial territories and was largely independent from the Dutch government. Although very successful, the company was eventually nationalized by the Dutch government in 1800. In the next episode I will talk about the most famous or notorious corporations of the Cyberpunk 2020 world. And what's your take on megacorporations and which of today's corporations fits the description of the megacorp from Cyberpunk 2020? Thank you guys for watching. If you like it, please like and subscribe. If you didn't like it, please let me know what was wrong. And until then, see you guys on the next episode of Cyberpunk Talk.